Hey guys, what is up? Second video of the new year and I am super excited. I'm going to be reviewing something that NikkieTutorials went crazy over. These are the Juno & Co. Microfiber sponges. I'm pretty sure I got it right. Yes, I did. I'm gonna be testing these out. I'm super excited for them because they're cheap, they look really good, they feel really good, and hopefully they perform well as well. So if you want to find out whether or not you should get these sponges in place of your beauty blenders and your Morphe sponges and what have you, please keep on watching. Alright, so I've just wet the sponge and squeezed it dry. This is how much bigger it gets. I actually can't remember how big it was before. It does get a little bit softer. It's still not as soft as I'm used to, like with a beauty blender, but we'll see how it goes. I have a little mixing plate here, and I'm gonna be using... what should I use? I'm gonna use one of my favorite foundations at the moment. This is the Dior Forever Undercover Foundation. So what I like to do is just dip the sponge straight into the foundation. This is just how I apply every day. It's not the best way, but it is my way, so I'm just going to use it because I want to basically compare it to my beauty blender and how I apply it every day. So far so good. The only thing I don't like about it so far is that it's not very soft, so I can't squeeze it into a smaller size. So this is a little bit too big. Like for example, in this area right here, if I don't want to touch my eyebrows, slightly difficult. Going for a close-up here. I do have to say it is applying the foundation really well. Sometimes with the beauty blender I get this problem where if I press a little bit too hard, sometimes too much liquid comes out if I haven't dried the sponge properly, or sometimes it just ends up moving the foundation around instead of blending it in, and this is not happening with the sponge. Another thing is, I realized that with the beauty blender you can kind of pounce and really kind of press that in, but with this one, because it's slightly harder and it doesn't kind of change shape as you press it in very much, I find that I have to kind of roll it onto my skin to get the proper blend, and I don't roll my beauty blender, so that's extra work for me. Okay, I'm gonna see how it does with my pores. This is where I feel the beauty blender does a really good job. Whenever you've got like these big pores on your nose, the beauty blender helps to kind of blend everything in and make everything look nice and smooth. I'm gonna try that out with this sponge. So I've only got the tiniest amount on the sponge. Shit, that is not bad at all. Okay. Moving on, I'm gonna try some concealer. That was really good. Really, really good. I'm surprised. Okay. I'm going to be going in with this Wake concealer, I think that's what it's called. This is from a Korean brand. I'm not sure what the brand is, but it was really highly reviewed in, I think, Korea magazine. No wait, Allure magazine in Korea. And I got my cousin to pick it up for me while she was in Korea on vacation. So far I'm really liking it. It's got kind of the same coverage as the Shape Tape, but it's slightly creamier, and I kind of like that about it. Okay, this puff is just a tiny bit too big for my face. Let me see how it's blending though. Another way it's different from the beauty blender, it's already getting really dry right now. It's still blending really well though. Okay, it's a little bit difficult to get into the smaller areas on my face, so I tried to kind of angle it so I could get right underneath my eyes here. But it ended up depositing product right up here, which is not what I was going for. But I mean, in terms of blending, it's doing a really good job. Get a good angle on the sponge where I'm going to be able to blend this, but not get it all over the rest of my nose. Okay, the tip is good. The tip is good for this. Okay, so that is the blending all done. I am really liking it so far. This is extremely dry already though. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm gonna be picking out powder with this, which it's supposed to be really good for. Like, they do recommend their sponges for applying blush and stuff like that as well. So I'm gonna be baking with this. Hopefully it turns out well. Let's see. And that was the bake all done. I kind of like this sponge actually because it's got this really nice flat tip. So it was really easy to get a really strong contour bake going. Okay, the bake has set. Time to brush it off. I'm gonna add some eye makeup. I'll be right back. Alright, so I just finished up my eye makeup, and since I've done that, the sponge is now completely dry. We're gonna try it for bronzer and blush. So the cool thing about this sponge is when you use it completely dry, you can actually use it for powder products. Just because it's on my table already, I'm gonna go in with the Dior Backstage contour palette, I wanna call it? A contour palette, it is. Okay, so I'm just dipping into these two colors right here. I'm using the edge of the sponge just to get a nice kind of straight line. Okay, that line was a little bit too straight. Oh my gosh, I can't blend it out. Okay, I've got a kind of thin contour brush here. I'm gonna use that and see if I can save the blend on this thing. Okay, done. Okay, onto the edges of the face. I'm gonna be a bit more careful with this side. And now for the blush, I'm just gonna go in with this one from the Face Shop in the color 05. I'm gonna use the bottom of the sponge for this. You can definitely feel the microfiber hairs on the sponge going to work with blending out powder products. And finally, I'm gonna go in with a powder highlight as well. This one is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in the color Charming Pink. Alright, so this is my finished look using the Juno & Co. Microfiber sponge. I used the... which one did I use? This one, the Microfiber Fusion sponge. It's the one with the flat edge as well as a flat tip. I personally think this is a really good shape and one that you should definitely get if you're going for an all-rounder kind of sponge. Overall, it blended the makeup really well. I even like using it dry. Honestly, it's not revolutionary. It's not something that I would use in place of my brushes, but if, say, you were to go on vacation, you don't want to bring all your brushes. I've gone on vacation twice now and forgotten to bring my brushes. It would have been really useful to have one of these. Unfortunately, I didn't. Now I do. I am very happy. Overall, is it that much better than the Beauty Blender? I have to say no. If you're looking for something that is a bit more all-rounded, you can use it for powder, you can use it for liquid, and then definitely get this instead of the Beauty Blender. It is so much cheaper, so I definitely recommend this anyway. It's not as fantastic as NikkieTutorials said. Unfortunately, I really don't think so, but for the price, you can't get any better than this, honestly. It's a really good sponge. And as I mentioned, I want to do a giveaway. I got 3 of these sponges. I want to give this one away. This is the Microfiber Dewdrop Sponge. One lucky winner is going to get this in the mail. If you want to win this, just go to my Instagram picture. I'm going to upload one. I'm linking it down below. Click through to that picture, like that picture, and then comment on that picture telling me what you like most about a beauty sponge. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, obviously, and I would love it if you would subscribe to this video on YouTube as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I see you in my next one.